Hi guys, so we're actually back in Crosstown today, and this is quite a sad story, but it's definitely worth telling and remembering this woman. So in December the 12th, 1995, at Ballynamona Strand, Camuckridge, near Gorey in County Wexford, an unidentified body of a woman washed ashore. The woman had been in the water for some time. Her upper body was skeletal, but she wore denim jeans, and the jeans were quite unusual. They had on the back pocket a diamond shaped motif of a woman wearing sunglasses. When Gardaí looked into it, the jeans were never sold here in Ireland, but they did find out that they were actually manufactured in Belgium. And also then in the back pocket were 2 Volkswagen keys, but the car was actually never found. She wore brown laced up shoes. They were size 39, and she wore white socks. On the insole of those shoes was a 4-star symbol with "Made in France" wrote inside. Beautiful photos here. Loving memory of Teresa Delaney and her devoted husband Nicholas. Teresa was 75 when she died February 2006. And her devoted husband Nicholas died April 2014, aged 81. Absolutely gorgeous headstone there. So on the insole of the shoes was a 4-star symbol, as I said, and the writing then was "Made in France." So you would start thinking and wondering, was this woman French or maybe Belgium? And I suppose the Gardaí at the time wondered the same. Was this a clue of where she was from? But unfortunately, Garda inquiries through Interpol actually ended up nowhere, so they found nothing. And in Ireland there was little coverage of the case, and nothing that I found about a public appeal. Here is an absolutely gorgeous photo. It says, "In loving memory of Annie Gough." She was 58 when she died in 1945, and also her husband Joseph. He died in 1961, aged 74, and their son Joseph, he was 86 when he died in 2006. What a handsome young man. Absolutely gorgeous photo there. Really, really nice. And that beautiful headstone. So another woman by the name of Priscilla Clark vanished from Ireland in 1988. She swept away in a river in Wicklow, I suppose after storms. Her family were stunned when in 2007 they discovered the story of this unidentified woman buried here in Crosstown. And I suppose they soon started to ask questions and probably even considered that this woman here was Priscilla. And then as momentum got going, other families of missing women soon started to ask questions too, and rightly so. These families never knew about this unidentified woman here in Crosstown either. So Priscilla's family then began a campaign to raise awareness, and it would soon become clear that this woman here in Crosstown was buried without a DNA sample. So eventually in 2007 an order was signed to have the body exhumed. DNA sample was taken and would eventually show that the woman was not Priscilla or any of our missing women here in Ireland. Another gorgeous statue here. Sacred to the memory of a devoted wife and mother, Elizabeth Campbell. Died in 1963, aged 58, and her husband, James Francis, 1980. So the story would soon come to light that when this poor woman was exhumed, her skull went missing. Also, in fact, the DNA had been taken in early 1906, but those samples too were lost. The Irish state has failed this woman, not intentionally, but a failure nonetheless. And it is extremely sad that this woman remains unidentified here in Crosstown, Wexford. Just up here is the final resting place. Loving memory of Mark Josh Hearson, died 5th March 1990. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And this grave also marks the last resting place of Thomas Stafford, died 16th September 1951. And an unidentified female whose remains were washed ashore at Campbell, 12th December 1995. So I had to cut the video there as there was a lady working on a grave close by. But this grave also holds Mark and Thomas, who had no loved ones. And then just around the corner, in memory of a gentle soul, Mick Linden, who passed away amidst the snow Christmas 1996 in his beloved woods in Ballindinus, Barntown. Please say a prayer for Mick as you pass by. So guys, a very sad story there, and those who are buried with her are those who had no one, I suppose, but it is nice to see that they are buried here, and we certainly don't forget them. And please God that this woman will eventually be named and she's not forgotten. We do remember her. I always find it so strange that people can disappear, firstly, and secondly that someone can wash ashore and yet they can't be identified. And I just don't understand it. Science and DNA, the way it's moved on over the years. Surely there's a database there somewhere that has a match for this woman. And then of the other grave that was just there, I couldn't actually talk over it because somebody came to visit a grave close by. But for that gentleman to die alone in the woods, in the snow, but you know, he obviously was known to the locals of the area, and I know Barntown well. I don't ever remember hearing that story, but he's not forgotten. And all the people here in Crosstown, rest in peace. So with that being said, guys, take care, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.